Welcome to JGTCR, I'm Cope, and today we are tuning the Alfa Romeo 8C. Let's get into it. In factory trim, the 8C is relatively easy to drive. It is especially perky in the high rev range, and while it does have enough power to have fun while throwing it through the turns, it isn't overpowered so you won't be fighting the steering wheel to maintain control. That being said, being heavy on the throttle can make the tail end step out. However, it is controllable drift action and is very forgiving. Under braking, this Alfa Romeo is relatively solid. However, being too aggressive or heavy on the brakes can cause the tail end to step out, only slightly in most cases, but being caught unaware can result in an unwanted Scandinavian flick. After becoming accustomed to the braking dynamics, it can be used to our advantage to initiate drifts for some fun, hard driving. The Alfa Romeo 8C handles driver inputs very well for a road car, and responds in a predictable manner based on the driving style. Heavy inputs on acceleration, braking, and steering results in an oversteer paradise of reckless fun, while modulated inputs have a far more graceful outcome, gliding through turns in a ballet of racecraft perfection. Whatever your taste in driving style, the 8C can cater to it, to a degree. So let's switch to the helmet cam and see what the checkered flag has to offer us. 7 minutes 34.8 seconds. Now let's jump over to the tune sheet for a quick rundown. This tune leaves some of that tail happy nature in place, if that is an unwanted trait. Reducing the rear natural frequency somewhere between 0.10 and 0.30 should remedy the situation. Let's get back on track and put it in action. As we enter turn 1, we can see just how power slide happy we can get. A stomp of the gas pedal at the right time pushes us through the corner with a slight angle for our efforts. The increase in power has made the vehicle more responsive and perky. This can cause the rear to snap out easily when peaking RPM on an uneven road surface. Throttle modulation and short shifting should be used to maintain control of unwanted wheel spin. Heavy inputs on steering, braking, and acceleration still initiate drift, only this time it's a far more exhilarating experience. Again, smoother driver inputs give us better results when we're searching for speed, and both braking and acceleration at 100% should be kept to straight line applications. When pushing hard, there is a fine line between maintaining control and losing it. The Alfa Romeo 8C is still forgiving to an extent, but far less than it was previously. When the car slides, it is easy enough to control, but pushing that little bit too far can result in a heavy snapback. Now let's go in cab for the lap time. 6 minutes 23.7 seconds. Let's look at the tune sheet for the drift settings. And with a few tweaks to get us sliding more consistently, we're ready to head out to Suzuka East Short Circuit for a drift. The Alfa Romeo 8C is naturally a high-speed kamikaze-style drift car. Throw it hard and smash that throttle, then hang on for dear life and eternal glory, while you pray to the car gods to help you through. The high-speed drift nature of this vehicle can be slowed down by adding 40 to 50 kilos of ballast towards the front of the vehicle at a level of 40. The additional front-end weight should slow us down and give us more of a pendulum effect. The engine is more than capable of providing enough power and torque to keep us sideways at almost any RPM. Lower revs are great for slow, controlled and precision drifting, while higher revs provide the top speed drift missile feel. Transitions and switching can be snappy if overworked, so ensure inputs are smooth and modulated when switching the direction of drift. However, once the new drift angle is dialed in, the revs can be fed back in freely without too much concern of any kind of snappiness. Overall, the Alfa Romeo 8C is more than capable as a drift car, and definitely brings a different look, sound and feel to drift events. And with the final turn rounded and linked, we are ready to move to the helmet cam and see what this looks like from the inside. As we slide our way onto the main straight, we will demonstrate the versatility of this vehicle. Almost any gear we choose is more than willing to light up the rear end at both low and high RPM. It really does just come down to how we want to drift it. We can be smooth and modulated or sharp and aggressive to an extent. Or you could do a combination fried rice of both. We come into turn 1 peaking the revs to try and gain some more speed, and we start washing it off straight away. A few blips of the throttle make sure we're in the right position to move into the short straight. Again, we have a need for speed as we try and make this transition in one, backing off and preparing for the switch into the S-curves. Through this section, we will be using both high and low RPM, demonstrating how we can move seamlessly from an aggressive to passive drift style without skipping a beat. The Alfa Romeo 8C is ready to take whatever punishment you're dishing out. And once high RPM drift time is over, we can settle the whole thing down by modulating the throttle and feathering our inputs for some nice, precise and chilled drifting. But should the need arise to gain some speed or dial in some more angle for your drift, those needs are met with just a stomp on the throttle. So no matter how you slice it, it's all coming up Millhouse. The Alfa Romeo 8C is an impressive vehicle in both factory and modified trim. It provides a well-balanced platform to build upon. Its power and speed are fair, but where it truly shines is in its handling. In factory, tuned and drift formats, the 8C had no problems keeping up with what was demanded of it. Vehicles with this kind of versatility are an asset to any garage on GT7. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing.